Previously on ParishSkoolie.
My spray foam guy flaked on me, so I showed up at another guy. This is Harding Insulation. Drove it out the gate all at his shop, so he'll be able to do it over the weekend. My check engine light kept coming on the way over here, so every time it did, it lost power. So we're gonna have to check that out when I get home. All the hazards on out. No, I know they're not on that. So on the way back from getting spray foamed, the check engine light came on, started acting up on me. I'm pretty sure it's a turbo leak. I've had a turbo leak before, and I still have all the same boots and clamps. I replaced some of the clamps. You can go. We're gonna drive. Jake's driving the bus. You can already tell how big of a difference this spray foam makes. It's so quiet in here, I'm sure you can even hear me. The turbo is making a sucking sound, so it won't go over 50-ish, like 2,000 RPMs. So we're gonna come listen to it. Hear it or not, but it's not supposed to sound like that. But the bus still has power. We're still driving. You know, it's still strong. It's just a check engine light. Check engine light comes on when it wants to, and when it starts sucking like that, it feels like it doesn't have any power. You should probably check something. Let y'all know what I find. It is September 9th. I got the bus home last night from getting spray foamed, but I realized that y'all have never seen the engine, heard about the drivetrain on video anyway. So this is 2000 Freightliner. It's got a 5.9 straight 6 Cummins turbo diesel. It's the 24 valve Allison transmission. When I first got the bus, the injectors were nasty and there was a massive turbo leak. Check engine light was on and off. It was putting it into a kind of like a security mode where you don't mess the engine up, where it won't let you go over certain RPMs. So the bus was very slow, and it smoked a whole lot. It was smoking blue, but it still started up every time I drove it home. It was always trustworthy. It was running like crap, didn't have any power, and it smoked bad, like I said. So first thing we did was yank the injectors. Injectors were super simple on this bus. 24 valve Cummins. I'm not sure how the 12 valve is, but this plate comes off. You got screws right here. Plate comes off. Injector rails come out. Sorry, I'm not supposed to do that with the camera. All those rails, pull those out, pull the tube out, injector comes right out. Injectors are right underneath each one of these bolts is where an injector is, and they just come right out. Once you get that tube out of the fuel line, just injectors pop right out. A couple bolts you gotta undo on the top to let it loose though. But pretty cheap. They were like $107 a piece. So new injectors. Once we got them in, still ran like crap. There's an obvious difference. Check engine light went off, but it was still smoking. Still didn't have any power. So we came and I ran a boost tester. See if we had any leaks in the turbo. This is my boost test. It's a 3-inch. Yeah, I think it's 3-inch. PVC pipe end cap. It's 2-inch. Well, anyway, This is the turbo boot. I'm gonna put this right in here. Fill up this stem with air, tighten it down first, and then I'm gonna spray it with some soapy water. And then, you know, the pressure. Any leaks, you know, we'll spray it on all the boots, and then it'll bubble wherever it's leaking. I've already found, you know, I took this off since my bus was acting up on the way to Gaydon to get it spray foamed. Check engine light was doing the same thing. It would come on and I would lose power, and it sounds like a turbo issue again. It sounds like a leak, so that's the easiest option I'm gonna do first. This wasn't even tight. This goes from here to here, and yeah, I mean, first off, that wasn't tight, and I already have some known leaks, so I'm gonna see how bad they've gotten. I think I may have to replace all the boots and the hardware, so we're gonna test it out. So right now, I'm having some issues with my turbo sucking air. The hoses, I had a couple of known leaks in the hoses. You know, here, this clamp holding the turbo on at one point was leaking. I didn't get any new boots or clamps. I just tightened them all up when I first got the bus, and it started doing it again. So I got new hoses. These were the old hoses. The wall is pretty thin. I'm sure these are the factory ones, so they have nearly 300,000 miles on them. These are the new ones. Big old wall on them. Got new clamps. Just the clamps and these, $135. So, some big beefy clamps. This one connected to the turbo whenever I first started disconnecting everything. Right here, it wasn't even tight. So check your clamps, check your hoses. It won't go nowhere if it can't breathe or don't hold a boost. I'll let you know how it turns out. So today I'm going to show you a lift pump in the Cummins 24 valve ISB. It's 98 through 06, 07. Reading a lot of forums last night. I have a check engine light for the lift pump. This is our lift pump. Check engine code came on for the lift pump. It's one of the first codes I've ever had. It disappeared for a little while, but it is not working. So this is the old one. The way you diagnose your lift pump is to key it on, and it'll kick on. If you feel the bottom of it, you'll feel it vibrating, kicking on for just a couple seconds, maybe 3 to 5 seconds. If you bump the starter without actually starting the engine, if you just engage the starter, it will stay on for a constant 30 seconds. That is located, your fuel filter, right here, and it's behind the mess of wires. See how close I can get it to. It sits on the bottom. This guy plugs into it from that side. This guy plugs it from the other side. So you put in and out. You can see this one's the old one. You can see in and out. So this cable needs to be facing out. The point on the 3 facing out way this way. Get it? Got it? Good. So after a lot of looking online at lift pumps, and they were all $200, $300, $400. If you are running an unmolested engine, if everything is stock, just buy the stock lift pump. They are $118 if you get them on Amazon. I paid $160 in town because it has a lifetime warranty. A lot of forums I was reading said that these things go out like crazy. So this is the model number, Can you see it? Delphi HFP 923. If you type that in on Amazon, you can find the same pump for $118. And if you have an engine like this, there's a good chance it will go out at one time. So yeah, I'm gonna get that changed. Cross my fingers, hopefully that does the trick. Okay, so first issue, these bolts are not the same. These bolts right here, everything else is the same on this part except for the mounting bolts. You can see the shiny one is the new one. This one's the old one. I've tried to switch these into here, but it's not the same thread pattern. So I found 3 identical bolts with the same thread pattern. I'm gonna put it on the bracket and mount it down like that. This is either my first obstacle or my first warning not to use this part. But either way, everything else matches. Plugs match. Everything seems to be all right. So we're gonna use it. We're just gonna modify it a little bit. Let you know how it works. Alright, so lift pump has been changed. Everything's working right. Check engine light is off. Alright, so while I was yanking wires, we had a wire down in here that connects to the starter, to the ignition, somewhere right there. So over the last week, when I come to turn it on, and all it does is click, click, click. Batteries are fine, starter's fine, and then found this loose wire right here, so tighten that up. Haven't had that issue since. I've been having, the check engine light came on for the lift pump. I checked the lift pump and it wasn't coming on. When you key it, never heard it make noise the whole time I've had the bus. So got this other lift pump, plugged it in before installing it, and it kicked on. It did exactly what it's supposed to do. So it's been a while that that lift pump hasn't been working.